Hey, good day from Devonport, Tasmania, Australia. People from down under checking in, nice. How are you doing in Devonport? Actually, I gotta be honest, I probably will have to Google that location. I don't think I ever checked Devonport out. It's always fun to realize the different location where people check in from. I don't read Cyrillic. No announcement. Also Happy New Year. Yeah, actually I did an announcement. Last night I set up the stream with announcement and everything. And I'm like, I patted myself on the shoulder. Good job, Robert. And then today when it's time to actually start the stream, I see that it was undisclosed or whatever the term is. But so I set everything up and then totally forgot to make it like so the public can see it. Very, very not smart of me. But hey, it's gonna be a more close to the chest sort of stream, just with people who are lurking my channel anyway. So yeah, you can ask more questions. I can give more feedback if you guys have things. So let's take advantage of it. 6:30. Morning. How are you going? 6:30. Jesus Christ. Do you have some early job thing that you have to go to? Like, I'm a morning person, but at 6:30 I usually get out of bed and I crawl on the couch and start gaming there because I don't want to bother the wife. Yeah, still don't speak Cyrillic, sorry. Hello and Happy New Year, says Mohammed Majoub. Thank you, Mohammed. We wish you the same. 4D chess announcement, proud of you. Everything I do is 4D, man. I'm like chessmating myself constantly. It's just it's the curse of the genius, you know how it is. And now we're trying to draw a robot that is not terribly unbalanced, or it is terribly unbalanced, but I'm trying to fix that unbalance. Mortivo, Pomagnition Sketchbook Tutorial Part 1, itt ülök egy vacuum tablet, a YouTube előtt. I could type in English, but I know. Yeah, okay, you know I'm Hungarian, but still, like most people, I'm not gonna reply to you in Hungarian because most people don't speak it. So we're doing nicely English. No, I love mornings. Got to. My favorite are I bet you mean somebody else, but I'll take it as me being the favorite artist, because why not? By the way, Happy New Year. I also need to say it to everybody. Happy New Year, people in the chat. Thank you for joining me this new year as well. And don't forget, as always, these streams are there for you guys to ask me questions whenever you don't know something or want some clarification on something, or just have general questions regarding stuff. This is the place where you can ask me and I will try and answer. So feel free to shoot those off. Happy New Year, Russian as well. Thank you. I just started learning sketchbook for fun and draw some shit. I always say I'm happy when I see people when they just wanna draw stuff for fun. That's what drawing is there for. Having fun, expressing yourself, exploring your ideas as well, not just expressing. So yeah, I hope that tutorial will help you. What are you doing? Are you drawing on a tablet or on a computer? What sketchbook are you using? I feel like I might need to do an updated version of that video as well, because that is still an Autodesk sketchbook tutorial. And Autodesk sold sketchbooks, so I might need to update that. Aussie Pickett, you my man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Matsabo, Czuk egy pici. I love how foreigners, like, they have a problem with our A. Matze, that is an A, not an O, but my wife does the same thing all the time. So it's okay. It's understandable. I have a weapon tablet, basic one. Okay, that's good. So you're using the Windows version. That's also a thing with Sketchbook, that I do prefer the Windows version of Sketchbook as opposed to the tablet version. I just feel the tablet version, it's not that it's not as good, it's still good. There's just other options that are a bit easier to work with. What time is it where you are? So I am in Amsterdam, and right now it is 8:30. Usually I set up my streams for 8:30. In the winter, sometimes I bring it a bit ahead, just because being an old man, I like to go to bed a little bit earlier. And by go to bed, I mean I like to game just a bit after the stream, and sometimes I'm just sleepy and I'm not that active at this time, so I do it from 8. And during the summer it's actually the opposite, because the day is longer and it's still bright outside at 8:30, and it is interfering with my webcam and whatnot, so sometimes I set the time there a bit earlier. Scott Sewer, Los Angeles, signing in. I love to see your ideation approach on guitar body at some point. So many curves. You know what? Let me finish up this one more robot idea, and then we will do that. I always like being challenged, and I never did guitars before. Also, since you are from Los Angeles, we started watching The Rookie, and we enjoy it quite a bit because we both like Nathan Fillion, but we both find it ridiculous that Los Angeles is portrayed as there's being a shooting every 5 seconds. Every episode of the series, somebody is being shot and killed, and terror attacks are happening. If I would go by that, I would be afraid if I would ever to visit Los Angeles again, or I never would have gone in the first place if it's that dangerous as they portray it in that show. I mean, I get it. Entertainment needs to entertain, right? Matze, but Robert, son, summertime is coming. The days are getting longer again. Yeah, so we're going to push it later again once it's here. Actually, this one will need some back wheels if we look at it like that. Something like that. Don't know what this is, but this could be some cool sort of side attachment. Alright, I like that as a basic idea. Let's move on to this one as well. Do you have thoughts on the Steam Deck OLED? My thoughts are, I hate being an early investor, even though with the Steam Deck I wasn't. I bought it when it was 1 year out. But battery life is better, the screen is better. Also, you should talk to Kim. If Kim pops into the channel, because I know he just surprised himself for New Year's or Christmas with Steam Deck OLED. So he probably can tell you more about it. I'm still running the good old non-OLED Steam Deck, and I'm still very happy with it. Like I'm telling you, ever since I have it, I switched 80 to 90% of my gaming time to the Steam Deck. Almost everything. It's just so much more comfortable. On the couch, on the toilet, everywhere. Oh wow, Thungun Spro X. Thungun Spro X. I guess that's Happy New Year with a little sunglasses there. By the way, Scott, can you give me some constraints for the guitar? Like, I'm not too familiar with the guitar, so just give me some constraints around it, because otherwise I will just Google a random guitar and look at that. But it's easier if you just write a couple of words, what type of guitar it should be, and so on and so forth. But it isn't that the curse with TikTok cycles. Now you can look forward to the SD2 and curse again for the 2.1. I mean, it's not, it's not that big of a difference. Like the battery life, I think it does a couple of hours more, so longer battery life. But I am still happy with what mine does, especially if I play a lot of AAA games. The battery can go on for hours and hours. Like I got myself the Cult of the Lamb for Christmas, and that I think 6 hours or even more you can do with just battery. So it's really still fantastic. And I can recommend, like, if you have less money, I think you can get 500 gigabytes or 250 for 350 euros or 400 euros, which is a steal, man. And actually you can get a new Steam Deck, OLED one, at the same price that I got my LCD screen one. So if you have the money, and if you like gaming, and if you like gaming while on the toilet and on the couch, you would be silly not to get one. So I didn't have really strict, specific plans with these Macs. I just wanted to do some fun shape explorations, hence why you can see the dark gray rough shapes in the background. I'm just building on those. And what I was thinking is to throw these into Viscom, because I've been exploring Viscom more and more. This is funny because I remember trying out Viscom at the beginning of last year, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is cute. This well, this might be fun one day, but now it's more like just some sort of exploration. And now I see it more and more as a useful part of the process. It really speeds up the whole render work if you just want to give a quick impression of the idea that you came up with. Welcome to Robert's 50 Shapes of Grey. That's a good one. I might steal that actually. That is a really good one. I like that quite a bit. Okay. I want to streamline this a little bit more. I'm not sure which one I want to add to or put into Viscom just yet, but like the first one, I might redo that one, just because I don't like the lines as much as I like them here. And these have a cool industrial feel to them, and I feel that one is a little bit stands out, not in a good standouty way. I want it to have sort of the same feeling as these two. Also, I shouldn't be. There we go. I keep on forgetting that this is a digital medium, and I can quickly cheat a little bit. I don't have to draw out everything over and over again. Okay, let's grab everything, push it up a little bit there. Now I'm gonna push this a little down there. Okay, and let's try it again. Just because now I see slightly, it's still a very similar shape that I see here, but I feel that I can adjust it a little bit to something that might work a bit better. Okay, so still this one is a little bit out of balance, but that is fixable. I thought I could add maybe 2 wheels, a small one and a bigger one. Might work. We will see in a second. And I don't know if this I want to be sort of, right now it looks like a penis gun, which is just unfortunate positioning, but it is what it is. I could turn it into some sort of arm thing. Let's see. Got a bit. I want to keep my lines straight. So the previous version I didn't like because my lines went a bit too, they weren't organic. I just didn't feel the energy behind them. And I just want to redo this a little bit. Bring some of that symmetry back so we have some sort of support struts there. I want them reappear as well. Then just bring some more structure into this, whatever this we decide it could be. It's a bit better. I always like adding some sort of satellite communication sort of thing on top of these. Like I don't have a specific plan on what I want this Mac to be, but it always needs to communicate with something or somebody, so that's never a bad idea to have some extra communication technology on top of it. Okay, some industrial looking shapes there. Repeat that. Looks good. Let's take a break. Let's drink some water. Okay, Mats, have you watched Rebel? Have you watched Rebel Moon? It's like 300 meets John Carter plus any random D movie, and I wonder why. Why haven't we learned yet that Snyder OG writing sucks? He can adapt comics, but writing, nah. Yeah, it was disastrous. Like a bunch of the visuals, like with Snyder you usually go, yeah, his movie's shit, but it's pretty, it's nice to look at. And in this case I was like, yeah, some of the shots are really cool, but I've seen these shots in 300, in Sucker Punch, in what was it, Watchmen, and I just, at this point, it's not that novel, it's not that new. So just the visuals in themselves are, I feel like, are not enough anymore with Snyder. And I know many people gave him, I guess, a benefit of the doubt because the Snyder cut of the Justice League, which for me there was no difference. Maybe call me an ignoramus, but I really just didn't see that big of a difference between, or because I hated that movie so much when it came out. I guess I just don't remember exactly how bad it was, but I just don't remember a big difference between the original and the Snyder cut. So I'm sorry if there is one and I don't notice it. So yeah, I was actually excited for Rebel Moon. I thought like, oh cool, new sci-fi IP and whatnot, and then just an absolute no. Hey, Sam Hannaford, he's from the Shid. Welcome from the Shid, my friend. Our DJ from the Shid. How is life, Sam? We had Aussies here, so you're not the first today from that hemisphere. But as always, it's a pleasure to have you here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I do prefer that one. But I think this is the one that I might put into our Viscom engine. Rue is here as well. Welcome, Rue. Is this the AI drawing channel? It is, and we are going to use AI again. It is funny because during the holidays, us Europeans got access to Threads as well, And since I never got into the whole Twitter thing, I thought, you know what, let me at least try Threads. And it is just a dumpster fire of AI pro and anti-AI people on Threads. So I keep on trying to see, okay, what do people think of AI there, and I drop some AI drawings in there every now and then. But people have made their minds up that AI is bad, which I understand the knee-jerk reaction to, especially just generative AI, where you just prompt and you do nothing with it. But people writing a whole technology off is I find it a bit silly, because there is a whole bunch of use to it, and I see a lot of industries are going to implement it. I saw that on the chat. People online keep calling me permabag. What's your definition of a permabag and how to stop it? Okay, permabag. Well, let's so my language is not English, right? Let's do a little bit of scientific thing here. So if I read that correctly, you said perma bag, right? So this I would split up into two words. Perma, which I would take something like permafrost, which means, for me, from here, perma means constant, right? So it goes on forever, it's endless. And then beg is somebody who's sitting somewhere and is begging for something. Like, this could be somebody in a bad position, or they just lazy and don't want to work. So it's somebody who's constantly asking for a handout, let's say. Now, your question is, what's your definition of a permabag? Which here we just decided this is our definition, and how to stop it. Well, there's two things to do this. Well, first of all, you need to break this infinity loop, which is a bit hard, because as we know from movies like Groundhog Day and many other loop movies, Looper, for example, you have to break out of that loop. One of my favorite sort of loop time travel things was Tenet, and Tenet moved from this infinity sign to the hand sign of Tenet that was shown in the beginning of the movie and then never shown again. So I would say, to stop this, you have to break out of this loop by going into a triangle motion instead of a constant looping motion. And then for the begging part, try giving instead. So I think we will go to a sort of box like this where we can give gifts to people. So my solution would be a triangle with a little gift box in it. I think this is what you're looking for. Permanent beginner. Okay, see that I went down a completely wrong road there. There is no such thing as something being wrong, as we are all permanent beginners. Like, you are a beginner at something throughout your whole life, so I wouldn't worry about it. I also wouldn't worry about what other people say. I would say, look at yourself. Do you think you're a permanent beginner? Or why would you agree with that statement? In what sense do you think that you're a beginner? Where do you see that you're not making progress? And try to approach that situation from a different angle. Like, what did you do until now that you don't see any growth? How can you change that? Like it's hard for somebody to say, oh, are you a permanent beginner or not? Because yeah, I don't. It also depends what sort of studying you do, how much work you put into your studies. So I just don't don't worry about what others say and what others call you. See what you think of yourself. See where you think there's worth for a change, and do that. Sam Hennifer, I'm good. Just doing good old morning stuff. Just sorting breakfast for my little 9-year-old, aka little rig. Big rig and little rig. Love it. Love it, my man. Am I then running like on an iPad in the background somewhere while you're taking care of food for the little one? I like being background noise. I should start talking about geopolitics during these drawings just so I can educate people on importance of geopolitics and whatnot. People get some interesting views on life and our world and what's going on through the lens of me drawing robots. Okay. So let's do our favorite thing, and I think I need to save these out. I can't just copy it like that. Okay. There we go. Let's give this a save. Stream Mac. Let me. So it's Stream Mac 02, and we need it. Oh, great. Stream Mac 02. Let me open a folder. Bring this one here. Viscom. Let's make a new file. Square it up. And then I'll just bring StreamMac02 in here and say industrial Mac. Actually, I wanted to. Let me see, where are my drawings? I think that was a 2021. I had some robots that I liked, that I would like this to. Oh, there we go. Where's my yellow one? Let's use this as a reference. So we're gonna drop this as a reference, and then industrial heavy Mac. This is all the prompt that I do usually. Let's see what Viscom can do for us. Your live stream is on the main TV. So what's the theme for today? No particular theme. I'm just exploring robots. So I did, as I said before, I had a couple of shapes. So I just drew these random shapes with a bigger brush, pushed back the opacity, and just explored some lines on them. And I put it into Viscom. And no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So I'm gonna click this and bring down the influence of the sketch a bit. Let's say 48%. Let's see what it does now for us. Hey, Redo, Meister Redo from good old Cluj. How are you doing, buddy? How's life back home? Yeah, this is getting in the right direction. Let's see. So I am curious if I switch to a different render engine. I like checking out Technicolor every now and then because Technicolor does some pretty good stuff. Everything's gonna be orange. Prepare for the crazy orangeness. I'm just gonna confirm this because I know if I go to refinement and I give it a 75, this should give me a pretty neat thing. Not inclusion anymore. I moved home. No way. Come on, really? I mean, probably not the thing that you want to talk about in the chat, but I thought you bought a house and everything in Cluj. Man, you should have. Shit, I didn't know that. I was home for all of Christmas. If I known, we could have met up. This is Metal Gear. I like this. Okay, let's see if we can combine this now. So I know what happens if I go back to render. Instead of Technicolor, I switch back to Viscom. And I combine it with my drawing here, which is at 48%. I'm gonna push it up to, let's say, 65. So basically I'm combining what I have here with my previous drawing. So yes, this is for the anti-AI people. I'm using my own input, right? So this is what I want to achieve. I don't want to use other people's input. Ooh, I think my drawing is messing with the style a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring down the influence all the way down to 25, let's say, and regenerate. I bought a house, but not in Cluj. I tried reaching out to you, but got no response. What? Are you sure? I'm so sorry. Fuck, man. Okay, I'll write to you. I guess I'll write to you on Messenger once I'm done with the stream. Because I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I missed that. Thing is, I don't really use Messenger that often, so I do miss a lot of messages there. It's just something that I was very active with during my studies, and then as the years went by, I just stopped using Messenger. So I'm sorry if I missed any messages of yours. What's the difference between Viscom and Leonardo AI? I don't know Leonardo AI, never heard of it. Viscom is trained on automotive, so it is particularly nice to use for hard surface like this. As you can see, it gave me some pretty nice results relatively quickly. So just a reminder, we started from this Mac, and we are generating a new one right now, which I'm going to confirm, and I'm just going to see what we have here. So the only thing I don't like is that the leg is a bit different, but that's fine. I'm just gonna do a PSD export of this one, save it into my AI folder, call it stream Mac 02 Viscom. There we go. But now that you mentioned Leonardo AI, I'm gonna look that up in the background. Leonardo.ai. Alright, let's put our Viscom thing aside. Like this looks very generic AI. The main thing for me is just to speed up my drawing process. So I guess in my free time I'm gonna look into this a little bit. But for me the whole point of AI is to just help me with my drawing process. I don't necessarily want to skip the drawing process. And there we go. I might actually prefer the, no, that's this one. Okay. So now that we have this, we can also, I'm just gonna play around a little bit. Because I want to make sure that it sort of goes along with what I do there. Language, bloody hell. Not sure which platform, but not Messenger though. Oh, okay, then I don't know how you reached out to me, buddy. Because the other ways, I mean, I have my phone, which I'm not sure if you have my phone number. And other than that, it's Instagram. I don't really have other things. I actually like this quite a bit, so let's bring down the opacity on this one and let's explore this a little bit further. I'm gonna blow it up a little bit and now just do an overpaint. Oof. I'm struggling a little bit here. This actually should not be that visible. Okay, so we have sort of these two, I don't want to call them pouches, but I imagine they could be like riot control units, that a whole bunch of rubber bullets explode out of these. And then we need this on the other side as well. I guess, so the one thing with AI, as you can see, it's not, I do have to do a little bit of adjustment here and there because my base drawing wasn't fantastic. Of course it was a quick sketch, but it also went away from it. So that's the other thing that I like about AI, that it gives you some more ideas about on top of your idea already. So it actually helps with creativity for me. But again, I only use this one. I don't use Midjourney or stuff where I just have to prompt something because that seems less interesting to me personally. Okay. Back leg on the inside. We have the Big Mac leg here. Let me bring this back, actually, I'm curious. Because here it did something that I don't care about, so I'm gonna nicely I'm gonna nicely leave that out and just stick with my idea for that one. The thing with when you're using AI as well, because it is a bit tricky, because it looks nice, of course. It is nonsensical, but the rendering quality looks nice. It looks like, oh, there's a lot of thought behind that, and there's like lighting and whatnot, and you end up with the problem of not wanting to kill your babies, and it is sort of important to try and kill them after all. You can always get inspiration and take some things from it, but keep in mind to stick to your own ideas as well. You don't want to give over all your creativity to the AI. Let's get inspired by some of the shapes here. But not by all of them. So what's everybody in the chat? Do you guys have New Year's resolutions? Is there something specific you want to achieve or learn this year? How are you all doing? Sam Hannaford. Mr. Robert, I have always been curious about your lines with how you do line then a dot or a little dash at the end. Love to know your thought process behind it. I have to disappoint you a little bit. It sort of became a tick. It's not really something necessarily useful. So in industrial design, you learn lines by putting a dot, another dot, and then hovering above it once, twice, 3 times, and then trying to connect it. And then you do this over and over again until you sort of achieve a relatively nice line. So this is what I do. Now, digitally, if you press down Shift in Photoshop or many other programs, because I know how to draw straight lines, but I want it to be a bit clinically straight. So you put down a dot, you press Shift, and with next step, it is always going to connect it with straight lines. So I feel like I developed a tick where even if I draw, I just sometimes I put down the dots so I know where to draw the line. Sometimes I put down the dots because I do this digital thing, and then sometimes I draw a line and I just add dots because I'm like semi-used to seeing dots in my drawings. So you see a lot of that as well. But many times, for example, when I have to draw here, I also plot out. So I plot out that I know, okay, I will need a line there, I will need a line there, and then I just do down the dots and I know, okay, I have to connect those. So sometimes these are also plotting lines. And I think I've seen this also from Feng Zhu. Him also, I think he has an industrial design background, and you can see something similar in his drawings as well. So I think it just might be something that industrial designers do a lot. Matsuba, goal for this year: battle my brush pen and keep on bouldering for a whole year. Do not get defeated by the door handle. That's a good one. Very good. I'm looking forward to seeing more updates of your brush progress and where you are with it. Rugai, my New Year's res is to write my New York Times bestseller list graphic novel. All right, setting big goals. I like that. I wish you all the best with that, my friend. I am sent as soon as it's done. I'll be buying one of your issues. Definitely wanting to help you with that best-selling thing. Ah, Efrain, buenos dias. Happy New Year. I don't know how to say Happy New Year in Spanish. I sure I knew if you would remind me, but right now no. Scott Seward goal. Gonna commit to learning Morpholio trace for next 3 months. Goal is to get the UI into muscle memory. Are you an architect? I played around quite a bit with Morpholio trace, and it was a pretty fun architecture program, especially if you are into architect style of drawing as well. It gives you a lot of help with that. Look for How to Think When You Draw by Ayrton Brothers. Awesome books. Okay. Let me note this down. How to think when you draw. Okay. Curious. I want to get Stupid Ridge this year. Stupid RDM, so I'll find it. You got me there. I was not prepared for that. Stupid Rich. Ay. I guess we all want a little bit of that, don't we? Getting a bit stupid rich. I don't know how, honestly, I don't know how good that would be for my productivity, being stupid rich. Feliz Año Nuevo. I should have known. That is very easy. I feel ashamed that I didn't just know that out of the box. So this comes up here. This needs to move back a little bit further. There. Well, then it's just not visible, is it? Because if this is there, yeah, it's just not visible. Still have to make some of the detail up here. Now, here's something that I'm going to try out now. I'm going to leave the rendering in here a little bit half see-through and probably paint over the parts that we don't need. Scott Stewart, casual pro designer, love their perspective tools. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I used it most for pro design sketches because I don't know architecture, but it's nice to hear that that you are still into their app. Sam Hannaford, this year, confidence in drawing perspective views, rendering, learning life structure, not missing a radio show, and providing the world amazing funk. Lose some weight, so I'm not a big rig. How can you not be a big rig? Aren't you already a big rig already? But those are a lot of goals, so I wish you all the best with all of those. Hey Victor, welcome to the stream. There with you, Bob, are stupid. Come on guys, you chose to spend your free time or work time or whatever time you're choosing to spend it with me. That is intelligence. If you have that smarts to choose me, to invest your time into learning from me, guys, that is one of the best decisions of your life. So I don't think they're stupid there. Fiki YD, does designer make new designs of mech anime for toy release products? Toy designers, I guess, do. I don't, but you need toy designers for those, for sure. So we have some sort of mechanism here that helps us be steady when we're not rolling. And if I see correctly, it totally transformed these back wheels into stationary ones. But I do see something that almost looks like wheels here. So we're just gonna take that and run with it. One thing that I have to keep in mind a little bit is that this probably needs to be a bit more squished. And then this one can be a bit more open. Or a bit less open. Now I went too much. It is, there you go. We're talking about achieving better perspective and whatnot this year. I still have my ways to go, as you guys can see. Not fully there with my perspective either. Strengthen these lines a bit. Okay, come on, let's take a break. And then we will call it. So I like the head. I like these things. I don't know what they are, but I had the same thing with my pre-sketch as well, that I just had a couple of nice shapes that didn't necessarily have a reason to exist. I like to push the opacity down because, again, I'm afraid of getting too much influenced, and I do not want that. For example, I have this nice, well, not for example, but I have this nice shape here, and I wanted to bring a little bit of that nicely bent shape back into the design language there a little bit. That's a nice way of getting inspiration from the AI itself. This is the rounded part here. Want to make sure that that's understood. I think I'm just gonna take that there as it is because it's just a cool little detail. Okay, let's push this back up again. Oh, music stopped. We need a little bit of music for the background, please. Oh, this is a sound effect. Okay, I need not sound effects. I need music. Let's just listen to random stuff. Okay. Now, perspective is a little bit off on this, so I'm going to try my best to fix it a bit. That sort of does it. Might be a bit too epic for what we're doing here, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. Okay, I kinda like what we have here. I like this part here, so let me just emphasize this a little bit. Now the idea is, let's see, how much should I push this to the forefront? I think this looks good. So now I'm just gonna take my round brush and just copy paste and paint over a little bit here, getting rid of the background, not needing it. Actually, I could also just go an extra. You know what? Let's go the extra and just make it white. And then what I'm going to do is go with my lasso tool. Oh, a mistake. I didn't finish this. See? This is why it's good to keep this a little bit low profile, because now I see that I did not finish this. And do I want a round? No, I do not want a round shape there. I want to keep it a bit thin. That was one piece of music, nothing more. Oh. Thank you. There. Okay. So here, I'm gonna stick a little bit with what it recommends there, with this sort of slanted shape, because I think it sort of works. And we just bring it down, and then the rest is there in the background. Okay, this sort of is what I like. Let's bring this, as I set up. I am at 70. I think 70 is fine. Maybe 80. Let's stick with 70. Frauke Freundlich. Hallo Robert. I just want to thank you for this great channel before I have to go to bed. Keep it up, you are great. Vielen Dank van Frauke Freundlich. Very nice of you. I hope you pop back in sometimes soon. I always like to see people here. Matsubob, you said Viscom is trained on automotive stuff. Do you know this me picture of the car with totally messed up perspective, blending side and front elements mixed together? Can we trick Viscom? I don't know that picture. Send it to me on, what is it? Instagram. I can try and trick Viscom if we can. It's always fun to mess with the robots until they decide to rise up and kill us all. But that's gonna happen either way, so why not just have fun while we can? Okay. So just gonna fill this with white. And now fill the bottom with white as well. Ooh, that's not white, guys. That was not white. Okay, and I wanted to fix this here. Oh, it's not fixing it. It's making it worse. There we go. Fill it with white. Alright, now I'm gonna take this. Actually, before I take this, I'm gonna do a bit of paint over because this might, I don't care for this detail. Doesn't add much for me. There we go. And then we can bring a little bit of this up there. I can fix some of this here as well. I don't know how much this would influence Mr. Viscom, but I hope not too much. Okay, so now I'm going to take this M, Shift C, StreamX02 V2. Okay, now we're gonna put this into our Viscom. See, just plop it in there. Okay, and we're gonna say a render. We don't need this. Industrial Heavy Mac. What do you do with this? You've got mail. Let's see. Instagram. Oh, you sent me an actual mail? Because oh, there it is, Instagram. Okay, sometimes Instagram is late. Oh, shoot. I do not know this. No, I don't. I think Viscom would just turn it one way or another. I think Viscom would just follow the top of this. Okay. Not the happiest with this. Where did my music go? Today it's not auto-playing for some reason. Or at least it was until now, and now it decided to be a poopsie. There, let's play some exciting music. I'm not super happy with this result. I was expecting something more. If we jump back here, like this looks definitely better than what we have here. So what if we do Technicolor? I don't think I will manage to do better than what I did until now. Let me see if I, maybe I do need to bring down the opacity a bit more. I like the background, it works well. It could be like an alternate version of this, but I feel like it just does not do a better job. So we're gonna say cancel to this, and turn this one off, and then see if we go back to render. I'm just gonna add light, see what that does. That's a little bit better. I feel the lines now are throwing it off a little bit, but it seems to me that we're not getting, like, I'm gonna confirm this and I'm gonna refine this a little bit, but I don't think we're gonna get a much stronger version than what we had there. Let's compare. Some elements are a little bit strengthened, but in general, I don't think this is much better than what we have here. This just needs a little bit of painting over and cleaning up, and we're gonna be good. Of course, some of these shadows don't really make sense, and oh, this is not good, not bad. Again, it messes up the perspective of that one. I don't know why. But I'm gonna confirm this and then maybe bring this down to 60 and refine it a little bit. But I think I'm gonna stop here with this because I just don't feel like we're getting, yeah, this is not better. What if I push it up to 90? It's gonna be very incremental changes, which in the end it's not that big of a difference. Yeah. I do honestly feel like I prefer this one. It did some changes that works, but I'm just gonna stick with this one. So yeah, not needed in this case, Mr. Viscom. But yeah, just so you guys see, I can take this white away now. I will do the paint over later on, but we went from this to that with a little bit of help from Mr. Viscom relatively quickly. And this is how I recommend using AI if you want to use AI. Keep working, so you still do the artist's work, but at the same time you can use a little bit of AI to spiff up what you're drawing and what you can do. Victor, when I achieve something, I feel like it should be, and every time I fail, no matter how minor, I feel like I'm not capable of anything. Have you felt the same way? And if so, how do you deal with it? It's perspective. It's perspective. So I totally feel what you're saying. We have a baseline, and I feel like when we achieve something, it's like it comes a little bit up, like, oh yeah, good, and then very quickly it goes down again. And then when we fail, like both our achievements, let's say, is a 1, and also a failure is like a -1. But the achievement feels like it comes until here, and the failure feels like we go down there again. And then it builds up relatively, not fast. So even though it both are the same, in my opinion at least, should be the same, weight-wise, the negative feels much worse. And this is just something that you have to keep, that your brain does this to you. Just we humans are wired to take negative news, negative feedback much stronger than positive. So just keep in mind when you achieve something and it feels something that, oh, this is just normal. Yeah, it could, that's how it feels, but you still achieve something. So celebrate it, make something special out of it. And when you fail, look at it as, oh, I failed. Why? Right? Like question it. Why? How? What did I do wrong? Why do I feel like failing? And then take it apart into its pieces and see how out of these pieces, like take a loop to it, right? And see how you can make something out of it. What can you learn out of it? Next time, how can you either avoid these things or implement them and learn something out of it? So that I would say keep this sort of process in mind. That failing is normal. It's also good for you because that's how you learn. So be happy that you failed and don't beat yourself up too much about it. But what if I fail specifically at perspective? Can I wrap my head around while drawing? Don't beat yourself up about it. I keep on saying, like, whatever you're drawing, take a quick picture about something that's in the same perspective, and then just trace that picture. See how that is different from what you're drawing. So picture as opposed to your drawing. Where are your lines going a little bit the wrong way? And then just identify how the perspective in the picture works and see how the lines in your picture work. And then it's all about finding the little mistakes. I'm actually, it gives me sort of joy and the happiness when I can find, like, oh, this piece of perspective is not working here. It makes me happy to be able to fix those things. And even if you're not able yet to fix those things, just identifying them already is something good, positive, and something to be happy about, because you're making good steps. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I will close this out here with our little robot sketcheroony stream. Thank you very much for joining in the new year in our first live stream. Hope I will see you around in many more, and hope you are having a very fun year full of sketching and learning. And yeah, as I said, I'll see you, ladies and gents, around. Bye bye.